Hi, my name is Elena and I'm a makeup artist. So today I want to show you the perfect nude makeup that will be in your arsenal forever of the makeup looks that you're doing. It's all about the perfect skin, the balance between the textures, the colors that we want to use, and I hope you will enjoy this video with us. Thank you so much. My new love and new discovery, it's the Medicube Milky Toner. And I really love the texture because it's super smooth on the skin and it just glides on, and you can apply as many layers as you want to. So it can be like for the drier girlies, I can do like 2 or 3 even layers, and you can apply it on the eye area, like everywhere you want to go with extra moisturization. Yeah, and do remember that your skin is like everywhere. If we want to have like the glowy texture on the face, we really want to have it like on the neck too, and maybe even lower. So remember to have it there. So right now I'm going into the cream, and I chose something just in the middle of the textures. So it is a little bit slippery, but not too much. It's very nice moisturization. It's from Glossier, the priming moisturizer. And I'm just working it into the skin. Don't forget about the ears and the neckline. And you know, like I'm just constantly touching Iris' face and her beautiful features, just to know like where do maybe she have like some dry spot or something, or maybe there is some place that you want to focus on a little bit more. When I'm trying to match someone, I'm not looking at one particular part. So if a makeup artist, for example, I see this every day, they're trying to learn you, just look, for example, somewhere here for the matching zone, or look to the neck and just apply a little bit and it will match. Like for me, it doesn't work a lot of times because, for example, the body can be very different from the face, or your neckline should be always lighter because the sun doesn't hit it at all, and we all apply SPF, for example, on the face, so the face can be lighter. So it can be a lot of colors in everybody's faces and bodies, and we want to just look through the whole body. So I can see like the legs, for example, the arms, I can see like a little bit of the chest, and from there I'm starting to build my perfect foundation shade. I will start with this shade and just checking up. I do feel like it's a little bit too olivey for me, so I want to add it a little, like tiny drop of something more bronzy, and let's see how it will go. Like I do love this match. I think now it's like a tiny bit warmer than I would love to, so maybe I would add a little bit of blue adjuster or something like this. Just a little touch. Like we don't want to have a blue foundation, of course, but just a little touch. So I'm starting my application now, and I'm using the natural hair of the brush. So it will absorb a little bit more of the product and it will go on very smoothly. And I'm trying to concentrate with my foundation just in the front, because like Era has the beautifulest skin. She doesn't need anything, but like I will apply like a tiny bit, like around the nose, like around the mouth when we tend to have like a little bit of pigmentation maybe. And just blending through everything. And don't forget about the ears, please. So if we're working on sets, it will be so much better if like the whole body will be one color and the ears count as a body, okay? Next, we're jumping into the concealer kind of thing. And I want to match the 2 palettes for me. It's from MAC, and it was a staple for me in my kit for the longest time, like over a decade, I think. Not these ones, but like the type of the product I'm having here. So I'm trying to match the beautiful Iris face, and I'll do something from here and something from there, because I don't want to have anything super light, but I want like to brighten up a little bit. Like once again, I'm prepping the brush. I'm not just taking all the amount and putting directly to the face. I'm just like pre-blending it on my hand and applying like a tiny bit on the areas I do want to have like maybe a tiny bit more coverage. Like usually it will be around the nose or like tiny bit around the mouth. And for the eyes, I know that a lot of people tend to crease. So my answer to that will be just apply the concealer on the points where you won't be creasing. I do see that we have like a little bit of creasing going here, and it will go if we apply the concealer there. So I'm just trying to make it lower, just here. And I don't see any darkness like around the eyes. I don't feel any need to apply concealer higher than this. Here is the darkest place, and just covering that little spot will do like half of a job for you. Maybe a little bit here, but not going to the crease. And I would put it just here. I don't want to put it like an eye base because it will be just too creamy for us. But just blend it so we don't see anything, any borders, anything. I will use this little concoction for me, and I'm having like a synthetic brush to applying it, once again working to the hand. And for the sculpting, I know that a lot of times we're trying to start somewhere here and make the line very diffused from here to there, but actually in my taste and in my world, the shadowiest point, if I can say that, is just below the cheekbone, the highest point of the cheekbone. So it will be there, not from here. So I'll put some product in there and then just reblend it. So this will give me the beautiful bone structure, not having the stripe from the ear. And after that, I really want to sculpt the eye a little bit. It will be from here. Just a little bit of the product. Like I'm not putting the color there, I'm putting a little bit of the shade. So the last part where I want to put a little bit of the contour is here, not because Erin needs it, just because we need a little bit more dimension if we're working on set and with the camera. So everything will blend very smoothly. And you know, the product should be like traveler on the face. We cannot have the product just like on one perfect area on the cheekbone. We want to have it like everywhere, on the eye, on the nose, on the cheekbone, just traveling through the color palette of the face. So now we're moving up to the blush, and I really want to do the cream one for now. And it's our favorite color with Era. I just recommended it to her, and she bought like 5 with her girlfriends. So it's Saie in the color Spicy, and I love that this color has like a little bit of everything. It's like a little bit more red, a little bit more burnt, but like it still has some cool notes in it. So it like blended out, it looks very much like a flush, and just very normal, very dewy, very natural. And I want to place it not like in a lifting motion here. I want to place it more around here. So it will be, you know, like a little bit of 18th century paintings with this beautiful rosiness in a woman's cheeks. Yeah, I really love this look. And I want to have it a little tiny bit on the eyelid too. Somewhere here. A little bit on the nose. Just to make everything matching. And just go around this area. Just to reblend it even more. So it will be just perfection. We are done with all of our cream products. Like for now, maybe we'll change something later. So I want to fix it. I'll have this powder, this is Laura Mercier, and I want to fix it like anywhere, I'm checking up with the camera, remember that? And I'm just pressing it into the spots that like maybe shines just like tiny bit too much, for my opinion. I want you to remember that having very wet kind of surface will show a little bit more of the texture of the skin. So if we want to like blur the texture, we will need to have a little bit of powder action going on. Checking out the Eris brow look, just to see like where we want to go with the shape. And I do think that we don't need much at all. I would say that I want to fill in like a tiny bit through the arch. And I will use a little bit of the pencil, just right here and down, just to have the color concentrated. Because remember that like for the brow, we do want to have the most concentrated color right here on the second point, not on the first one. So if I'm seeing the natural brow that have a lot of thickness through the front, I want to have a little bit something going on there. And of course, we do remember that brows are sisters, not twins. It's fine if they're a little bit different. They won't be like matchy-matchy. Okay, and now I just wanted to fix. And putting a little bit of the product from that side of the hairs, and then putting them into the form that we did. Okay. So I really want a tight line, but I don't want to use black. Choosing something more burgundy, something like this. So it will be very dark color. You won't be able to recognize that it's burgundy, but it will look a little bit more interesting than something like brown, for example. Can you look down for me? So when I'm tight lining, I just want to massage the place between the lashes. And I really don't want to go far on top or on the bottom, because for me it needs to be like super unrecognizable. Like nothing is there, but something is, you know? Okay. So I think right now you can see the beautiful difference, but you just see like a little bit of a fuller lash and a little bit of a greener eye, so it just pops a little bit more. I'll put something like this. We don't want to see the texture of the lipstick. We want to just have this feeling of the beautiful moisturized plump lip. And I really want to have a tiny bit of the liner just here in the corners, just to give a lip a bit more of a pout. So I'm applying and mixing it and blending it. And it's not a very dark color, you know, I'm just want to have a little bit of definition. So we've finished our perfect nude makeup on set, editorial, skin, everything good. And I really hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you, Era, so much for coming. And I guess see you soon. Let me know if you want to see some particular makeup or technique that you want to see on video. I'm glad to help you. And thank you. I guess see you soon. Bye.